Oh boy. Oh boy. I can't believe I didn't find this one before. Oh boy. All right. All right. If you guys are not aware of the whole situation about Catherine potentially getting censored when the English version comes out, well, it might. It might. And we've discussed this before in a prior video. Go ahead and check that out. I will link that at the end of this one. Catherine Fullbody, voice actress, claims localization adjusted bigotry in translation. All right. All right. First things first. First things first. Before we start, I just want to say I got no problem with the LGTB. It's too many letters. LGBTQ community. Got no problem with them. You be what you want to be. You love who you want to love. Doesn't matter to me. Makes no difference. You're not hurting anybody. I don't care. Don't care. All right? I just want to make that clear before we get into this article, before we get into this video, because we're going to talk about something here. All right? So I just wanted to make that clear. I also want to make this clear. SJWs, get the hell away from my games. Damn. Just stop. It's not hurting anybody. It's a fantasy world. You're not even going to buy the game. Okay. All right. Let's get into the real video. All right. Bad news for those looking for an unchanged Catherine Fullbody ending. Erica's voice actress suggests Atlas localization may be making bigger changes. Atlas, if this is true, I'm disappointed in you. You are one of my favorite companies, Atlas. You're one of my favorite companies for video games, especially considering that you as a company produce, in my opinion, some of the best games that are available to purchase. So much so that I would always purchase your games at full price because they are that good. Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, Etrian Odyssey. I mean, there's so many games that Atlas puts out. If this is true, if this happens, if I go and buy Catherine Fullbody in September and you changed the translations to fit the agenda of the SJWs, I will be very, very disappointed in you, Atlas. Okay? I'm not going to say that I'm going to boycott your games. I will still play your games. But at that point, if it's not Shin Megami Tensei, if it's not Persona, I will opt to buy your games at a very discounted rate. Maybe used so you don't get the money. But anyways, it's been nearly a week. And by the way, this article, I know I keep going sidetracked on this. This article is actually pretty old at this point. Like, I missed it. After I did my first video. So it's been more than a week. But it's been nearly a week since the initial controversy surrounding one of Catherine Fullbody's endings, while the developer and publisher Atlas has largely kept their mouths shut while the internet dukes it out. Voice actors for the English version have been controlling the messages, either avoiding the situation entirely or telling fans to not judge until the game is out. However, Erica's voice actress has signaled that the localization team has aimed to adjust bigotry represented in the Japanese version. Oh boy. Spoilers to Catherine Fullbody follow. You've been warned. So a quick recap of last week's events. Following the release of the Japanese version of Catherine Fullbody, internet commentators and the niche Catherine esports scene has claimed there's an esports scene for Catherine. You know what? I could see that because it's like Qbert level of, style. So like clearing the stage in the fastest time. I could see that. That'd actually be pretty fun to watch. Anyways, has claimed that one of the endings is transphobic after the protagonist is able to go back in time and change the past. This reportedly led to the trans character Erica never transitioning in one of the endings. Which, I mean, again, it's fantasy. While many of the LGBTQ plus gaming community was upset about this, along with other conventions like dead naming and trans bashing, others have pointed out that this may simply be miscommunication. A widely circulated translation offered a different reading, that Erica's transition had simply been delayed. Others suggest that this is only the protagonist's best ending, not the best ending for every other character. That is true. See, here's the thing about these games. There's multiple endings, and because there's multiple characters, there's multiple endings for those characters. So just because in one ending that benefits one character might not benefit another, doesn't mean that that same character that did not benefit from that ending might benefit from a different ending. Like, come on. Anyways. Despite silence on the part of Atlas one way or the other, Rin's voice actress, Brianna Knickerbocker, asked fans to wait until the game was released before passing judgment. The tweet has since been deleted. Meanwhile, Erica's voice actress, Erin Fitzgerald, Persona 4 Fire Emblem Awakening, let gamers know that she backs the work behind the localization team. Okay. While the statement was immediately unclear on whether there would be any substantive changes to Catherine Fullbody, it appears that Fitzgerald is suggesting that those talks were already in play ahead of the controversy. In a statement on Erin's public Discord channel, she revealed earlier this week that she is returning to do the English voice work of Erica and Midnight Venus. However, she also mentions that the localization team took the translation very seriously in terms of trying to adjust the bigotry represented in the Japanese version. Like, come on, man. Erin's House of Misfits. Okay, I am officially allowed to report I am Erica and Trisha, the Midnight Venus in Catherine Fullbody. I will not discuss the new content until the game is released and people have experienced it. No, the localization team have took the translation very seriously in terms of trying to adjust bigotry represented in the Japanese version. We won't know if it was successful till the audience plays it and reports back. It's uncertain how this is impacting Catherine Fullbody, but assumedly this means that purchasers of the Western version may see the ending reworked. Obviously, it is localization's job to make changes and to format scenarios to be appropriate to the regions the game releases in, but this may signal a more heavy-handed approach in how they handle the ending. Outside the bounds of the controversy, there was a bevy of good news for Catherine Fullbody. We got confirmation that Troy Baker would be returning to reprise as well as Vincent. Great, because Troy Baker is a fantastic voice actor. So awesome. On top of that, it appears that despite planned boycotts of the game, it was selling phenomenally. Throughout the week, the premium edition with Plush Sheep was Amazon's second best-selling PS4 game and fourth best-selling video game overall. I need to pick up the pre-order. I forgot to do that. But you know what they say, all news is good news. Finally, we have some pretty cool crossover art that showed Persona 5 Phantom Thieves in place of the Catherine characters. I've seen that. Absolutely skin options I want to have. Catherine Fullbody is out now in Japan on PS4 and PlayStation Vita, but won't be coming to the West until September 3rd, 2019, only for PS4. All right. First things first. I want to say that anytime a game company does something like this is a absolute loss to the video game industry. It's an absolute loss. And the reason why is because you're catering to a group that will not play this game. Okay? Just because you change it to fit their agenda does not mean that they will buy the game. They're not going to buy the game. They don't play the game. They don't play video games. And I guarantee you, if this wasn't a problem, if this wasn't even mentioned, then the SJW community would not have said anything. They wouldn't have made a big deal about it at all. But since we have PlayStation now pushing censoring or censorship on video games even before they release from Japan now, it goes to show the age that we live in, where everybody is so soft skinned and like they don't know how to handle things. Oh my God, they're not catering to my needs. It's now some of you guys could say, oh, but you saying that them changing things in the game is a bad thing, that could be fitting your agenda, Goshen. Well, if you want to look at it that way, fine. But the way that I look at it is you absolutely can't get upset when you are trying to push for equality, but you don't do it both ways. You cannot get upset for things like that. You can't. And that's what it comes down to, is you're trying to push these games to change. You're trying to push them to change, not for the better, just to change because that's what you want. That's not how things work. It's not making the game better. Now, if it impacted the story in a relative way, okay, fine. I mean, it's already established that Erica was and is a trans character. That was established in the original game. You had your representation there, but it wasn't enough for you, and it's never going to be enough. Never going to be enough. You're not going to be happy until Vincent is gay. Like you would, and better yet, until Vincent is trans. Like you would, like that's how you would want this game. You would want it to just be one of the endings where Vincent becomes trans or comes out as being gay or whatever, just so you can have more representation. But in all honesty, that wouldn't improve the game at all, because that's not the character. It's the same thing where I read, I don't know if they're still doing this, but I read that Elsa in Frozen 2, they were planning on making her be a lesbian. Why is that important? Why does that need to be a thing? Why do you have to push that into the movie for an already established character? I don't understand why you got to do that. Like, that's really stupid. Things like that is what I have a problem with. You have an already established character and you're going to change things because you're not happy with that. That's not how things work. Hell, they even did that in Captain Underpants, where they made one of the kids gay. After like 13 books, you made him gay. Like, if you would, if the game would have come out, or the movie or book or whatever, if they would have come out and the character from the very beginning, that's how they were, okay, fine. It's a natural thing. I get it. I got no problem with that. But you go and you change the character midway because that's what you want, because that's what makes you happy, and it doesn't change things. Now, why does that have to be a thing? Why can't it be like, oh, okay, for example, there's a lesbian character, right? But halfway through, she falls in love with a straight male and she wants to marry the straight male. So now she's not lesbian anymore. She's bisexual, but she wants to marry into a straight relationship. You would be upset about that because that doesn't fit your agenda. But it goes both ways. You have to be okay with one thing and the other. You can't have just one and not. I could rant about this all day, but I'm not going to. SJWs, just stop touching my games. Just stop. With that, guys, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you guys are new. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this news here. I'm not happy with it. I hope that Atlas doesn't bend to the will of the agenda that's been put in front of them. I will be very, very disappointed. You guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out, guys.